betwixt.
Like what? Yeah. We have a kind of an interesting version of a rock classic today.
Yeah.
It's almost a bluegrass version of Bad Moon Rising.
Yeah.
I know, you keep giving me those back.
They keep sending good music.
Yes. They will. It's funded by
I'm gonna try to find. It sounds like it would be easy to do. I like the chords when they're written in block form.
Oh yeah.
Looks like it looks like a fretboard, but it just gives you the shape and tells you
right.
which fret you're like.
Ultimate Guitar has those.
Well, Corey has them too.
They do? Okay.
And I don't usually use them because I already know them. I don't. But I'm thinking about for jazz chords.
Right.
Because I'm not going to sit back and just say F sharp minus 7 plus a 13 minus 9.
Yeah.
I want to see the shape.
Yes.
That's all I want. I want the shape of that chord.
Right.
And then I can memorize
Because
that.
there's so many,
Okay.
and the ones that you don't use all the time will be probably not as familiar.
Well, and see, this shape is very distinctive, and then it just shifts. And that's what I want. I just want to see changing shapes. So I haven't found it yet, though. I started looking, and it's not easy to find what I'm looking for. And you would think it would be fairly simple, but
Like when you're doing something that has a lot of jazz chords in it.
well, I just want to have them for mom just play around with, or for an arrangement for a certain song. I would be thrilled to have.
Interesting. I wonder why they're so hard to find.
Well, the ones that I found were just simple chords. They weren't the real meaty ones like these.
I'll have to ask Andy where he finds his because he plays a lot of jazz. I don't know where he finds his chords. I'll have to ask him. He might have a source, and if it's something he can send me, and I'll send it to you.
He might not be learning the way I do on this. He might not be learning with block chords like that. Diagrammatic.
I don't know how he does it. I just know he plays a lot of jazz, and now he's playing jazz ensembles at school. Where he puts his chords together, I have no idea.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm gonna keep. I've thought about calling Dave, the teacher, David Noor. Just say, Dave, I need help on finding the source.
Right.
To see if I'm sure he would just tell me. My son took with him for a while when he was learning guitar. Way back when. I never have to study with Dave, but everybody raves about David. He's the kind of teacher you want.
Right. There's probably a real good book of jazz chords.
I do have one, and I actually need to just find it. Because the way he starts is he gives you all those kind of chords, and they're in block form, and he says, number one thing you do in this book is you memorize all these before you go to page 2. Because everything's going to be based on those movements.
Yeah.
So, thank you for reminding me.
Sure, because I know they make books full of mandolin chords. Chords on mandolin.
Yes.
There's books of them. Scabber books. And even books specifically for violin players learning mandolin. Because you come from a different mindset as guitar to mandolin.
Yeah.
And but there's books specifically for that, learning the chords on mandolin.
Oh, neat. Let's see. Oh, we're going to have to get started.
Oh, yes we should.
Billy. Calling Billy. Oh, we're gonna start with Crossroads, right? And then Bad Moon.
Oh, I'm sorry. I told you the wrong thing.
And then Puff.
I'm very sorry. It's okay.
Hey, Ricky. Calling Rick. Calling Rick. Calling Rick. He's not listening. Calling Rick. We need to get going. Sorry to... To go, yeah.
It's the only one you want. You might lose it if
Crossroads is first.
you feel better. What are we doing first?
Crossroads.
Crossroads?
And then we're going to go to Bad Moon, and then we're gonna
Okay.
we'll do Puff.
Okay. I had that backwards. Sorry.
Hola.
Good to see you.
It's nice to be seen. It beats not being seen, I believe.
Yeah.
It does.
All right. Are we ready to... Oh, can I tell the story of this song? We got a minute?
Well, we have nobody here.
Oh,
Because well, but we're running out of time.
okay. 2, 3, 4. I went down to the crossroads, fell down on my knees. I went down to the crossroads, fell down on my knees. Asked the Lord above for mercy, somebody save me please. I went down to the crossroads, tried to flag a right. I went down to the crossroads, tried to flag a right. Well, nobody knew, everybody passed me by. Right down to the crossroads, take me by my side. I'm going down to Rosedale, take a rider by my side. You can still barrel house there on that old riverside. You can run, tell my old friend Willie Brown. You can run, tell my old friend Willie Brown. Well, I'm standing at the crossroads, believe I'm still falling down.
Rock and roll
Yeah.
in church. For those of you that don't know, we do a little bit of this every Sunday too. It's in memory of our missed the first Friday that we do. So we always do a couple of these right before.
There we go. Contrary to popular belief, that's a song of redemption. Many people think it's a song of Robert Johnson selling his soul to Satan. If you read the lyrics, that's not what's going on at all. All right. Well, I see a bad moon rising. I see trouble on the way. I see earthquakes and lightning. I see bad times today. Don't go around tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. I hear hurricanes are blowing. I know the end is coming soon. I feel the rivers overflowing. I hear the voice of rage and ruin. Don't go around tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Don't go around tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. I hope
I've got your things together.
got it. Hope you are quite prepared to die. Looks like we're in for stormy weather. One eye is taken for an eye. Don't go around tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. Don't go around tonight, it's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the rise. I got lost. Huh? No, it was me. I forgot where we were. I was enjoying what she was playing and just kind of got.
I forgot the one you never did.
I went. I kept thinking. We can't be over already. Oh, wait, we're not. We're in the chorus. Thank you, Sherry, for bringing it back to the chorus.
My pleasure.
I can't do that either. I'll do this. Forget my voice.
Buff the magic dragon lives.
Jackie kept a lookout perched on Puff's gigantic tail. Noble kings and princes would bow whenever they came. Pirate ships would lower their flags and Puff roared out his name. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. The dragon lives forever, but not so little boys. Painted wings and giant rings make way for other toys. One gray night it happened, Jackie Paper came no more. And Puff, the mighty dragon, he ceased his fearless roar. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. His head was bent in sorrow, green scales fell like rain. Puff no longer came to play along the cherry lane. Without his lifelong friend, Puff could not be brave. So Puff, that mighty dragon, sadly slipped into his cave. Oh, Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu. Puff, the magic dragon, lived by the sea and frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Honolulu.
Good morning, everybody.
Our opening song, I'm Gonna Sing.
I'm going to sing. Would y'all stand up and sing with us just to twinkle your toes and wake up with us?
I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing and enjoy the Spirit of my heart. I'm gonna shout when the Spirit says shout. I'm gonna shout when the Spirit says shout. I'm gonna shout when the Spirit says shout and enjoy the Spirit of my heart. I'm gonna pray when the Spirit says pray. I'm gonna pray when the Spirit says pray. I'm gonna pray when the Spirit says pray and enjoy the Spirit of my heart. I'm gonna work when the Spirit says work. I'm gonna work when the Spirit says work. I'm gonna work when the Spirit says work and enjoy the Spirit of my heart. I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing and enjoy the Spirit of my heart. I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing. I'm gonna sing when the Spirit says sing and enjoy the Spirit of my heart.
And let us open with a prayer. We open our hearts and minds to receive divine inspiration this morning at this very special place and time. May we allow Spirit to inform us of what is ours to release and what is ours to embrace. We open up, we release, and we receive as Spirit moves in, around, and through us. We are grateful for this glorious morning and all those who are serving of their gifts and talents. And may we each be blessed in a special way. Amen. And welcome to Unity again. Do we have any first-time visitors? Brave people are holding their hands up. All right.
This is the first time at Unity, first time here. My daughter Fallon, her wife Gigi, and her baby Savannah.
And John's daughter and daughter-in-law and grandbaby are here for the first time at a Unity. Is that right? And okay, wonderful. Thank you for being here. Okay, anybody else brave enough to raise their hand? No? Okay. We are so glad that y'all can be here with us today. And that's everybody on this beautiful day after this cold weather. We've got some sun and some warmth going on outside. We come together to affirm and celebrate our unity, our oneness with each other and with the source of all that is. In that spirit of unity, let us pause to unfold in light and in love all people in our community and in our world. The candle of unity signifies the light within each of us and our connection to the source of all that is, and so it is. Let us now affirm our faith. I have faith that God is my instant, constant, and abundant supply. I have faith that God provides ways when to human sense there is no way. I have faith that God is guiding me in all ways. My health, happiness, and success are assured. And now let's all sing the greatest gift.
The greatest gift in all my life is knowing you. The greatest gift in all my life is knowing you. I want to know you more. I want to know you. To serve you more. I want to serve you more. The greatest gift in all my life is serving you. The greatest gift in all my life is loving you. The greatest gift in all my life is
now Joan Bignoli will read the daily word.
Good morning. Today's Daily Word, Sunday, January 23rd. I am praying for you. Pray for others. I am praying for you. Just hearing the words, I am praying for you, helps me relax into the calm strength of a trusted friend's faith. Reassured, I feel my own faith growing stronger. My friend may be next to me or calling from far away. The power of prayer is undiminished by distance. Grateful for the gifts of others' prayers for me, I welcome every opportunity to pray for anyone who asks. Having heard the prayer need, I let go of concern. In faith, I behold the Christ's presence within the one for whom I pray. Knowing the truth of another's wholeness, I release any thought of illness. I affirm divine wisdom guiding important decisions and divine strength, relieving any weakness. I feel the warmth of God's love, bringing peace and restoring hope to those I hold in prayer. And for the Losians, that's a hard word to say. We always give thanks to God for all of you and mention you in our prayers.
Announcements are on the slide and are also found in the bulletin and in the newsletter. We have another announcement. If you know anyone who is interested in the Unity cleaning position, please see Tony or Janet. It is 3 hours once a week, and I believe there's another announcement written on the board in the hall. We have an excited little one who's leaving to go join the other kids, I bet you. All right. All right, now enjoy the ending.
Doesn't care who you are.
Doesn't know your name.
You have to play it out your own way. Think we know our past.
We only know today.
We have to play it out our own way. Love has a way of mending. Love has a way. Love has a way. Nobody knows the ending. Life has torn us apart.
What we feel is still real.
No time in life for pretending. We have to pick up the phone.
We have to send a mail.
How are we to know, even if we fail? Love has a way of mending. Love has a way. Love has a way. No knows the ending. It holds you, it heals you, protects you in times of pain. It moves you when you are still and silent.
We have a prayer box at the back of the room with prayer request forms. Please place your prayer requests there so that we may pray for them here and at Silent Unity. Remember, our prayer chaplains are holding sacred space for all of us. And now Reverend Judy Voght will lead us in prayer.
Thank you. Thank you, Beth. Make sure I'm on here. Good morning. Wasn't that lovely? Wasn't that beautiful? And what a great group of people we have this morning. When we saw what the weather forecast was, we weren't certain anyone would be here, not even us. We were talking earlier about how tempting it is to hibernate when the weather's like this, but you know what? That's the worst thing you could do. We need to be out among other people who think the way we do, have fellowship, inclusion, and just be with others and feel their spirits. I know it's been said that there's a chemical, a pheromone, that grapes give off, telling the other grapes next to them that it's time to ripen. And that's what we're telling you here today. Okay? Each and every one of us that is awake and aware, we're sending off that chemical, that aura, that's inviting you to awaken to. Put all your fears behind you. Did you know that in the Bible, I think it's something like 365 times it says, do not fear. Do you think they were kidding? Jesus said it a lot of those times. And God reportedly said it to a lot of people. What are we doing right now? Falling into every kind of fear you can imagine. It's everywhere. We certainly want to be cautious. I am. You saw me wearing a mask this morning. It's not because I think I'm contagious, but I do know there's some people in the room whose immune systems aren't that great right now. So that's why I put it on. I've been vaccinated, boosted, and you name it. I've got it all. Yeah. And on top of that, I live the power and the presence. Those things that we affirm on Sunday, the light of God surrounds you, the love of God enfolds you, the presence of God watches over you. Then we go out into the world and we pretend we didn't ever hear those words, don't we? All of a sudden we have amnesia and we've forgotten who we are. We're children of God. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're going to have a prayer this morning. I'm going to preach to you in a few minutes. I'm just getting warmed up. So, if you would, sit comfortably with your feet on the floor. And if you would, place your hands, palms down, fingers up, back of the hand on the knee, palm facing upward. And as always, let us relax the gaze. If you'll relax those muscles around your eyes, you'll find that it will automatically allow your gaze to go inward. You'll find that the light comes in there. So we're relaxing the eyes, relaxing the forehead, all the muscles around the eyes. As you come on down, take a deep breath. Breathe in deeply. Breathe, breathe, breathe. All the spiritual masters have told us, take deep breaths, deep breaths. Breathe deeply. Relaxing the body all the way down. Relax, relax, relax. Now if you would just imagine with that right hand turned upward, imagine the light of God coming down through that hand, up that arm, across to the heart, resonating in the heart center right there, across and down the left arm, and the light going back out into the world. So you're bringing the light in, illuminating the heart, sending that light back out. Just like those grapes. We're sending out that chemical, that aura, that presence, the presence of God watching over us. We're sending that out to others. As we pray this prayer. God, we feel your presence here this morning. And we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that there are people here who have many, many challenges ahead of them and a heavy weight upon their hearts. We just ask that that weight be lifted and the way will be made clear for the challenges so that we can each go forth in the world as the light that you would have us be. wherever we are. We choose to be your ambassadors of love and light and joy. We lift up every need for healing. And I just ask everyone to say in their own hearts, I am healed now. I am healed now. And I am whole. My family is healed. Every concern that I have has already been answered. We say thank you for the joy, the love, the light, and the healing that are ours right here, right now. Amen.
With love, anything is possible. Any mountain can be climbed. Any river can be crossed. Nothing's ever lost. With love, anything is possible. With faith, anything is possible. Any mountain can be climbed. Any river can be crossed. Nothing's ever lost. With faith, anything is possible. With hope, anything is possible. Any mountain can be climbed. Any river can be crossed. Nothing's ever lost. With hope, anything is possible. With love, anything is possible. Any mountain can be climbed. Any river can be crossed. Nothing's ever lost. With love, anything is possible. With love, anything is possible. Any mountain can be climbed. Any river can be crossed. Nothing's ever lost. With love, anything is possible.
much. I believe that's a Karen Drucker song. Yeah, look at Connor, he's grown up. Connor, I'm going to embarrass you and ask you to stand up just so we can see. Look how tall he's gotten. Yes. Some of us remember when he was born and that baby, and yes. We love you and thank you for being here today. And we're glad you've grown so tall. We just don't know that we're getting older with you. That's the only thing. Time passes so quickly, doesn't it? And when we look at these young ones, we really know it. So this morning, I'm talking about choosing heaven. And you might say, can you choose heaven? Well, yes, you can. Yes, you can. I don't care what's going on in the world. I'm living in the same world you are. But I'm choosing heaven. And I hope I might be able to convince you to do that too. Leo Buscaglia said, life is a paradise for those who love many things with a passion. How many things do you love with a passion? Many? Yeah. Good. That passion is leading you to your purpose and your joy. And I hope you'll take advantage of it. And if you don't have enough passion in your life, I hope you'll find some. I hope you will. This quote came from his book, Bus 9 to Paradise. It's a great book. And it's not about a bus trip, but it is about a trip. And he came upon this title for his book when he was in Melbourne, Australia, and he and his agent had been there talking about his latest book release, and they were out at the bus stop, and he saw a sign that said, Bus 9 to Paradise. Wouldn't that be lovely? How would you like to take Bus 9 to Paradise? I wrote in a blog post that deeply resonated with me, that title of the book and that quote, because yes, indeed, I love many things with a tremendous zeal and enthusiasm. Like Unity's founder said, that he fairly sizzles with zeal and enthusiasm to do what is his to do. So let's see if we can't get a little sizzling going on this morning, this cold morning. Let's see if we can't sizzle a little bit. So many things. There's so many things that I love, and I wrote another blog post this week about all the trees around my home, the house where I grew up, and all those beautiful trees. A huge sycamore tree. I've been thinking about that for about a couple of weeks. I wake up every morning thinking about those lovely trees and being in that house. Very, very modest house now. You might be surprised just how modest that home was that I grew up in. A home with 6 children and with a lot of love, though. A lot of joking and laughter, teasing each other. But I woke up several mornings thinking about those trees. That large sycamore tree in the front grew to be huge. It shaded our house and the neighbor's house too. And on the back we had a lovely sugar maple, beautiful in its shape. And the leaves, how gorgeous were they? and then another silverleaf maple that my dad groused about because the roots would push up the sidewalk. And my nephew reminded me that we took that they took that silver maple down just a few days before my dad died. And how sad that was. The tree had died, and what an amazing time that was. I had forgotten. He reminded me of that yesterday. He read my post. And there was a red cedar that my oldest brother planted. And I can just smell cedar now, and it'll take me back there. But what the post was about mainly was that we, at the very end of the lot, and Oak Ridge was a planned city. It was an engineered city because the Army Corps of Engineers built Oak Ridge, a secret place where they could enrich the uranium for the atomic bomb. And so that's where I grew up, in a secret city. But when they built the streets, they created them so that every home would have a big yard, so they could have big gardens. We're not talking about just little lots. We're talking about pretty big lots where you could have a large vegetable garden, because we all families gardened at that time. And we had an apple tree, and I loved that apple tree. Absolutely loved it. It was a beautiful apple tree, but it was fairly close to a thorn tree. Well, we stayed away from that thorn tree. I'll tell you, it had big thorns and those long, it was a black locust, long pods on it. If anyone's familiar with those trees, you didn't get close to them because they had evolved to have those thorns. They were prickly. And that's how they'd stayed alive, was to keeping animals away from them with those thorns, you see. So they had a purpose. But we sure stayed away from that thorn tree, I'll tell you. Because you could, even if you walked under it, some of the branches would fall and those thorns would still be on it. And you'd step on one of those thorns. Of course, we were all barefooted then, we didn't wear shoes. But the apple tree, how lovely it was, and it gave off those pheromones I was talking about earlier. That was encouraging. The apples gave off those pheromones and chemicals that encouraged all the other apples to ripen. And how sweet it was. I would sit in that tree. I just loved that tree. And I've been thinking about all the trees recently that were in my childhood, and just thinking about them takes me to heaven. Do you have a place like that you can go, whether it's in your physical world, in your mind, wherever it is, that can take you to heaven? You can choose that now, We have this lovely song we sing sometimes. Maybe I should have suggested it, but I didn't even think about it earlier in the week. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. Lovely song, isn't it? They do a better job than I do. But I don't know if anybody does a better job of choosing heaven than I do. We're not in a competition, We have our own way of choosing it. The subtleties. Thich Nhat Hanh passed on, didn't he? But what a legacy he left us. One of the things I remember about what he told us was that you can have peace anywhere you are. You can find peace in the most crowded room, in the midst of a trauma. We all have struggles, we know that. But you can still find a peace, a place of joy to go through those struggles. You can. We have affirmations like, everything I do adds beauty, order, and light to the world. We might even say, I can't wait what good comes from this. No matter what trouble you're in, there can be some good that can come from it. I promise. I promise. If you're struggling now, it will get better. For certain. So ancient Egyptians believed that upon their death they would be asked by the god Osiris 2 questions. And their answers would determine whether they could continue their journey in the afterlife. The first question was, did you bring joy? The second was, did you find joy? These goals then became their sacred charge in life. Isn't that amazing? If we were to find joy. And Leo Buscaglia said that when he was a teacher, he used to encourage his students to keep a journal as a record of their innermost thoughts and feelings. He said, occasionally I would ask that they would show them to me for our discussion. He said, I noticed a tendency in them to emphasize the negative in life, always. And these were just students, just children. There were the, oh, woe is me stories, he said. Oh, my life is miserable stories. Boring, depressing, confusing, unfair, cruel, and on and on and on. Each day seemed to be a test of endurance rather than an adventure. He said he would ask them, why don't you write of the joy in your life? It's really your choice. And he said that the answer was always that the bad things just seemed to have more impact than the good things. They seemed to take their joy for granted. Those bad things touched them more deeply than the moments of joy. And that notion is perhaps what has inspired a lot of study and research to determine the dominant mood of some popular songs from now and the past. The findings revealed that about 3/4 of the songs dealt with the pain and anguish of love. Did you know that? You know the type. My baby done left me. You broke my heart. I'm so alone. All day long, I sit and moan. Or a favorite, love is a battlefield. Whatever happened to love is a many-splendored thing, do you think? Not so popular. Soap operas so frequently capture that spirit. They go on every single day to infinity. I caught a glimpse of a soap opera the other day that my grandmother used to watch. Seems like 100 years ago, and I saw someone on there that was still acting in that same soap opera. I couldn't believe it. It's like, good heavens, you're still acting that same old sad story. Come on. Some people said it helped them with the troubles in their own lives. I don't believe it. I just simply don't believe you can watch that over and over and over again and not end up with a knot of worry in your stomach. I have a habit sometimes if I'm starting to read a book, and if it seems like it might not end well, I check the ending. And if it's not going to turn out well, I'm not going to read it. I don't. I put it down. I will not face something that's going to make me worry, whether it's a television program, a movie, a book, or anything else in life, even some of our current stories. I'm not going to entertain a sad ending. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to add any unnecessary worry to my life. Not going to do it. Not going there. I don't like that feeling where you've got a gnawing sense of worry in your stomach. You know you can feel it. Why in the world would you subject yourself to that on a daily basis? I remember my mother was laughing at my grandmother once because she was worried about how the soap opera was going to turn out. She just didn't know if so-and-so was going to be okay or not. She said to her, "You know, that's a story. That is a made-up story. So if you got anything like that in your life going on, and it's making you worry, I would say stop immediately. Cease. Desist. Stop." Now, I don't want to make light of those songs, though, that help us through difficult times, because they do. And we've talked about this before, that music can help us heal. And if we're going through a bad time where our baby done left us, our heart may be hurting. And we can't minimize that, because we all do have pains and sorrows we go through. And that's a fact. So listen to that music as long as you need to. And then one day you'll turn that same song on and you'll find out you've moved beyond it. Right? It's a change of consciousness, is what that is. You've lived through that, you've grown, and you've moved beyond it. And you'll probably find you won't ever be able to listen to that song again because you've moved beyond it. Now, I was thinking the other day, too, about experiencing heaven on earth. And, you know, if you express that too much, though, about being passionate and joyful and with all that's going on in the world, people will think you're crazy. If you're still passionate about everything that's going on and you know that there's still going to be a great ending and you're not out there ranting and worried about this, that, and the other, go ahead and spread your joy anyway. Let the others rant. Let them be fearful. Let them be worried. There's no need for you. And I think that's another thing about choosing heaven today, is that I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that I'll stay on this earth the number of days that I have a purpose and I'm living that purpose. And there's nothing else that's going to take me away. And I know that. So I'm not going to spend any time being fearful. I'm going to do everything I can to be cautious and to protect myself and others. But I refuse to live in fear. I refuse to live in anger either. I'm not going to do it. So you see, I guess I do live in heaven, don't I? I've chosen it every single day that I get up. Will Bowen, who wrote A Complaint-Free World, said that for many, many years, 17 to be exact, he woke up in a low mood. You wouldn't think that, would you? He's a Unity minister, and he has become wildly prosperous by writing that book and coming up with that concept of a complaint-free world. They're bracelets, and we practiced this a few years ago, that every time you find yourself complaining, you'll flip your bracelet. It's elastic, and it flips back on you like a rubber band. Well, I sure didn't like that. I'm not into torture either. So all I did when I found myself complaining was just to turn it around. And he said in his book that the thing you could do is that if you will quit complaining and you'll be aware. See, aware is what you have to be. You have to be aware of what you're doing. You have to be mindful. That if you'll be mindful in hearing yourself, every time you complain, catch yourself and don't. And within 21 days, you'll change your habits and you won't complain anymore. You'll stop all that complaining. Nobody wants to hear it anyway. The only reason you're complaining is because you want validation. It'll make you feel better. So we need to just quit. We live in a wonderful society. Oh, so many great things going for us. Wonderful medical community, so dedicated to helping to keep us well. So much. Abundance of food, resources of every type. What a world we live in. We're so grateful. He spoke of starting each day with gratitude and how that changed his life. And it changed his life from waking up for 17 years in a low mood. You imagine? He changed that by just being aware of his thoughts and where they were taking him. Now, we don't pretend we don't all wake up in a low mood sometimes. Sometimes we do. We didn't get enough sleep. We're not breathing deeply enough because we're stressed. We didn't get enough sleep. We have too much on our plate. Those that love us, forgive us. If we find that we're in a low mood every once in a while. But the thing is, the more aware you become, the less you'll do it. Now, I've talked each week so far this year, 2022, of finding the kingdom. And where did Jesus tell us we would find the kingdom? Not up in the sky somewhere, but within is where he told us we'd find the kingdom. Has anyone ever heard of Rob Bell, former pastor of a mega church, huge fundamental church? I knew Alice would have. She and I read the same things. Well, he had this huge mega church, and once he started becoming aware that some of the teachings that they were espousing there weren't the teachings of Jesus. They were dogma, they were doctrine that Jesus never taught. They were things that the church encouraged you to think about sin and salvation and heaven and hell. He said once he became aware of that, he couldn't teach it anymore. He couldn't stand up there on a Sunday and teach that when he knew that Jesus didn't teach that. All the spiritual masters had not taught that. So next thing he knew, he found himself out of a job because those in the church wanted to hear that about sin and salvation. But thank goodness he woke up. He wrote a book, and Everything is Spiritual. He explores ideas about creation, love, connection, and how it shaped him into who he became. He said he remembers sitting on his grandma's porch when he was a child. He said, I'd ask for a 20. She'd reach in her bra, pull out a wad. She'd say, will a 10 and 2 5s do? He'd say, yeah. That's the kind of grandma she was. Anyone have a grandma like that? I had a mother like that. My grandma like that had already passed away long, long, long before I was born. But I had a mother like that. So Rob said when I was in high school in the mid-'80s, I used to visit her on her farm. He said we lived in Okemos, a suburb of Lansing, which was the capital of Michigan. He said I'd drive our Oldsmobile out into the country to her old brick farmhouse, which was surrounded by barns and all types of outbuildings, pastures and fields. He said I'd park in the driveway, then her dog Gunner would circle the car, pee on all 4 tires. He said she'd usually make dinner, and I'd stay. Then afterward, we'd sit on her porch in white wicker chairs. He said, I remember the wind. I remember that especially, how it would blow across the fields, among the barns, move the chimes hanging from the eaves on the porch. He says sometimes we'd talk, other times we'd just sit and enjoy each other's company. He says, I was in that tenuous space between being a boy, being a man, trying to sort out who I was, where I was headed, surrounded by all the dramas that surrounded me in high school. He said, everything around me was ranked. There were the best students, the best athletes, the coolest kids who got invited to all the right parties. Everywhere I turned, he said, there was someone better, someone smarter, faster, more tuned in to those ambiguous codes that only teenagers know. He said, I wasn't. I was an outsider, and it pained me. It was painful being an outsider. He said, I lived with a perpetual ache that I was always a step behind. And he had these questions he always asked himself, do I have what it takes? Will I ever find my place? Am I good enough? Some of us still have those questions, don't we? But he said, then I'd sit there in one of those wicker chairs. Those questions would evaporate. They'd fade away, and listen to the wind. And in those moments, in that place, everything was all right, even when it wasn't. Do you know what I'm saying? It's that feeling of knowing that everything is all right. Even when your eyes tell you, your ears, that it's not. The eyes and the ears of the world that are continually telling you there's something wrong. I think that's what heaven is. Thich Nhat Hanh said that we will always have struggles on this earth. He was repeating what the Buddha said and what Jesus said also in his book, The Living Buddha, The Living Christ. Yes, we have challenges. We're going to continue having those. But what I want to encourage you today is to know and to feel that everything is okay. When to human sense, it's not. I invite you to look beyond and to find the peace that goes beyond all understanding, to find heaven right here, right now, where we are. I wish you joy. I wish you peace. I wish you love. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Reverend Judy, for the truth that speaks through you. We give expression to our appreciation for all that is offered here at Unity of Gulfport. Please take your offering in your hands and say along with me, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I trust in God. Thank you.
Welcome to a place that knows you as God. Welcome to a place that sees who you are. We are of one mind, we are of one heart. Welcome to a place that knows the truth, that God is everything. God is me, God is you. Welcome to a place that knows you as God. Welcome to a place that knows you as God. Welcome to a place that knows you as God.
How grateful are we this morning for every person present here today who's going to go out into the world, and just like those grapes, you're going to encourage others to ripen with your truth and your love and your light and your joy. We say this morning with gratitude how much we appreciate these gifts, and we just pray that they would be blessed in every way and multiplied tenfold for the giver and the receiver, heaped up, pressed down, and running over. And so it is. Bless those children. Yes. Come on now.